Hey everybody, welcome back to another Roundtable podcast we have Polly. I'm gesturing to my right. Hello, Polly.
How are we doing? You gonna mix me
And-
in the mix? Like stereo, right? Nice.
Yep. Gesturing to the left, Justin.
Hey.
And allegedly we're all video content creators on YouTube.
Sometimes.
I think we've made more of these in the past 3 months than we all have made actual videos, with the notable exception of me, but my Bloodborne shit does not count since that is like 7 months late. So, why haven't you been doing anything, Justin?
Thank you for going to him. I had nothing. Oh my god.
Well, I just hit my closet door. Sorry. None of the games I've been playing are really good for videos, and I like playing the games more than I like making videos. So I've just been sort of. It's an easy decision.
So you're saying that you took this as a casual hobby, and you made it into something that you were going to do for a little while, and then it just became a casual hobby again, except without the video part? How fucking dare you?
Jesus.
You're not allowed to do that,
I'm
man.
being
Once you're on
attacked.
YouTube, you're on YouTube for good. Otherwise, you
Fuck
fucking
that.
abandon people.
I have a job, asswipe.
The claws are
Okay.
out.
A
Holy
job.
smokes.
Well, that's fancy.
Yeah.
They give you money for that?
No.
No?
No.
Are you sure?
No. A little.
How do you live?
I don't. I just eat computer parts when I'm hungry.
Oh. Well, where do you get the computer parts from?
This is a stupid conversation.
No, because... Okay.
So, it sounds like somebody is like really upset by this. Lady Canton, are you feeling really abandoned by the lack of videos coming from his channel?
Do you miss me? Is that where this is coming from?
We just haven't been talking much lately.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should call more.
You should, actually. But it's alright, we're gonna fix that pretty soon.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Oh, tease.
Polly?
Yeah, what about you, Paul? You fuckstick? Where's your videos?
I got nothing to say. I mean, it really is that simple.
You have about 3,000 people to answer.
Oh, no. Not I have nothing to say. Like, I am not making videos because I have nothing to say.
Oh.
I will sit down and try and make a commentary and blubber on about absolutely nothing. It'll be maybe a 17-second passing thought. And I'll try and flesh it out into a 10 or 15 or 20-minute commentary or something like that. I feel like I'm just a little bit talked out because I still want to do... I'm still kinda-ish playing Dark Souls 2, but I've been playing a lot of other stuff too. And I'm trying to keep the YouTube channel fairly Souls-focused.
What happened to that Pillar of Eternity's video? Pillars of Eternity.
I turned it into a podcast.
That's right. Okay.
And so I've been,
I listened to that, and I just in one ear out the other.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
And so it was. So I've been using that as an outlet to talk about some other stuff. But I mean, I'm trying to keep the channel Souls related, and it sucks because I'm in a Souls drought.
No, I feel you, actually, completely. Because apart from the Bloodborne stuff that is coming out itself, and we're not talking about Bloodborne, its fucking self, just apart from that, what is there to talk about? Because everyone's already formulated their opinions and shit. You can't say anything anymore. So I feel you when you say that you sit down and you want to talk about something, but it's really only a 20-second thought that everyone in the comment section could just like nod their head or shake their head at and then continue on with your day. And it feels worthless.
Yeah, the commentary ends up being just something you could say on Twitter real quick and get a few responses from
Totally.
people.
I feel like Dark Souls 2 has been out for a while. A lot of people moved on to Bloodborne, but in terms of PvP commentary, I'm kind of curious to see what happens in the next round of things, like transitioning into Dark Souls 3, but it almost feels like as a whole, as a community, we know so damn much. We are at a point where everything has just gotten to Yep, that's true. You can say something very succinctly, very concisely, and everybody knows exactly what you're talking about because everybody is kind of on the same page. I feel like we're just at a point where everybody understands and agrees or disagrees with each other, and there's not a lot of room for elaboration. It's bumming me out. I kind of feel like that. That's kind of where my head is at in terms of having nothing to say. I made air quotes. Having nothing to say.
That's funny because people, like, even if they're not on the same page and they've like just gotten into the Souls community, they can go into Reddit or they can go into a Twitch chat or a YouTube comment section, and they can say, I think that things work like this, and then immediately within 20 minutes, a response will be there saying like, no, that's not how it is. And here is like 5 different videos showing you just Imperial? Is that
empirical?
Empirical.
Oh, yeah, empirical.
Yes. My thesaurus is fucking dead tonight.
Empirical evidence.
Imperial evidence. I like that. The British Empire swoops in.
It's good.
No, yeah, that's what I'm kind of not afraid of, but not looking forward to with Dark Souls 3 as much is I feel like the majority of the discussion is just going to be like how weapon arts contribute to the formula that's already been there since, Dark Souls 1 and arguably Demon Souls.
I think it's going to be just as different as like Dark Souls 2 was to Dark Souls 1. Because, I mean, we get another sequel, and in some people's eyes, we get another right sequel.
The real sequel,
Yeah, and it's going to be done in a particular way, and we're going to have to talk about the same things. We're going to have to talk about invasions and conditions for invasions and the speed of combat, which is going to change a lot, and there's going to be a lot of room for discussion on backstabs and frames, and there's a lot of the people that have gone stale on Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne are going to be able to kind of put their claws back in and say like, all right, there's more stuff to discover now, and we're going to have another renaissance of about 8 to 14 months, maybe, depending on how frequently the game is patched. Because it's being handled by a slightly different team, or how broken it is, yeah. And I'm really looking forward to that. But at the moment, everyone is super feeling the burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see new announcement videos from large and small channels all the time saying like, hey, we're going to diversify the channel, or hey, I'm just going to hang out and wait until Dark Souls 3 or whatever. But yeah, I think it's a natural end of life. With a new title on the horizon. It's just things kind of go stagnant for a bit.
So on that point, where are we in what you just said? Because I'm waiting for Dark Souls 3, with the exception of what Cannon and I are going to do soon. Where are you? Are you just struggling for something to talk to, Paulie? Or something to talk about? Or are you actually deliberately waiting because you'll have something fairly soon?
I'm not deliberately waiting at all. I mean, if something pops into my head that I feel like I can sit down and actually talk about. I mean, like I said, I'm still kind of sporadically playing. I was playing earlier today actually, and it just I didn't have anything new to say, so I didn't record the footage, and nothing really popped into my head. So I might do like some goofy PvE stuff, or I mean, if something comes up, I'm not waiting. I'm not holding out. But otherwise, yeah. When Dark Souls 3 hits, I'm sure shit's gonna come flooding back.
Just like perpetually spontaneous. I like it. But you can. Well, you're doing Bloodborne, so you're a little different, but
yeah, I'm not really doing Bloodborne there because I recorded the DLC that came out, which was actually good. By the way, it was a lot larger than I thought it was going to be.
I was really impressed, even for someone who thinks what I do about the game.
Yeah,
I think it was great.
I thought it was really good. They practically doubled the amount of weapons that are in the game.
Yeah, man, there was a ton of new ones.
And all the bosses, even the one that people say is another blue smelter demon.
Yeah, smelter syndrome.
It's not, though. The fight actually noticeably changes beyond AoE differences and like animation speeds being changed. But yeah, apart from that, there's nothing that I can think of that's worth saying. So I've been kind of busying myself with other things, and I've just been playing Fallout, which I have about 60 hours in now, and I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5, which...
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
When Metal Gear Solid 5 is so dangerous for me, because I didn't expect to like it, but I do. And it's super Splinter Cell, like in that kind of way that it gives you a mission and it's big. And I'm a perfectionist and it gives you a reward for being a perfectionist. So I will legit spend like 2.5, 3 hours on one level just getting it perfect before I move on to the next one. I've done 13 levels, 12 actually. I've got 13 available in 27 hours. And there are 50 missions available.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I got to like mission 13 or 14, and then I think I was at like, I don't know, like 20 hours or something like that. And then just did side missions for like 25 hours.
Mm.
And I think I'm like on 22 missions. I haven't even beaten it yet. As much as I love Metal Gear Solid, like I got distracted in a different way. I'm racking up my hours just by bullshitting with like managing recruits and stuff.
Yeah.
And
oh God.
That's fun.
No, but I totally feel that burn with YouTube, as a lot of people have, in that there's just not a lot to talk about anymore. And understandably, I super get the draw that Twitch presents in that regard, where you don't actually have to put out an idea or a series or something with Twitch. You can just kind of sit down and play and have a good time and still like the game, or start to hate it even more. But you get more life out of it while still being a content producer, but without compacting it all into a new revolutionary idea on YouTube.
Yeah,
Indeed.
So I've been looking into Twitch, new capture card and everything.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Coming back in a big way. When?
Sometime in the future, soon, TM.
I know.
All right.
Soon, yeah.
I said that not expecting an actual answer. All right. So...
Okay, so how about this? Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can put together a little segue, because we were talking a little bit pre-show. So with we mentioned Dark Souls 3, it's coming. In the same way that Dark Souls 2 was around, there's going to be a land grab, right? There's going to be all these great new opportunities for great new uploaders to come out. Mm-hmm. So when that happens, I'm really curious to see how it plays out, and I'm wondering, like, the people that showed up in Dark Souls 2, or the people that showed up in Dark Souls from Demon Souls or whatnot, what makes you do that, right? So especially if you've been playing since Demon Souls, so I'm wondering, like, there's a ton of people. We see them in comments across all kinds of videos all the time. We see them on Reddit. We see them in Twitch streams and stuff like that. Maybe that aren't uploaders, or that aren't streamers or anything like that. And so I'm wondering, with the rise of Dark Souls 3, fresh snow to play in, what might make somebody say, you know what, it's time for me to throw my hat into the arena. I'm going to start a channel. I'm going to start broadcasting on Twitch. I'm going to start doing any of that kind of thing. Like, these people clearly have something to say. There's going to be a good convergence of timing for them to be able to start something up. What is it that makes somebody say, okay, that's it, I'm doing a channel, I'm starting a channel?
Why did you do it? I'm gonna put you on blast first.
Yeah, that's fine. So I
You're like, yeah, fuck you then. Fine, sure. I'm ready.
No, I mean, that's fair. It's like, well, let me give this rambling attempt at a segue, and then I'll just throw up my mirror shield and bounce it right back at you. No, so I started it. I knew I wanted to do a commentary channel. I knew I wanted to talk about some stuff, and I wanted to talk about some stuff that I felt like wasn't necessarily being represented in a lot of the videos that I was checking out. And I wanted to have like kind of an exploratory very dialogue heavy thing, which I absolutely love. And I think had that not happened, I definitely would not have kept going with the thing. But in terms of the back and forth with people in the comments and over messages and just like shit like that, it was absolutely great. And I personally, I have no qualms about saying like it. I think it's a vanity thing. Like I felt like I had something to say in the same way that I'm not making videos now in that I didn't have something to say. I felt like, you know what? I think I got something that other people will find interesting. So I'm going to plop down a mic and start talking over footage, and let's see if people like it.
Does that come from you, or does it come from your passion about the subject, though? Because I wouldn't call it vanity if it's the latter.
If it's passion about the subject?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great question. I'm inclined to say it was probably a mix of the two.
You arrogant fucker.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's true. Guilty as charged. I feel like it could have been. It could have been any game that I was really, really into. But I felt like I could have sat down and maybe started a Dragon Age channel or something else. I'm glad.
Teasing me.
I'm glad it was Dark Souls because I feel like, or I'm glad it was Souls in general because that is a much more rolling, much more vibrant, ongoing community because of the PvP element, if nothing else. Dragon Age is very, very static. So while I could sit there and talk to it for hours and hours and hours, it's a much smaller pool to play in than it is with Souls games. So I think
unless you're a Let's Play channel,
channel,
we'll get on that probably.
But
in a bit.
But yeah, I just felt it was something where, you know, I was getting into the game. I got into it super late, even though I had experience in Demon Souls. I was noticing some things that I didn't necessarily hear being talked about elsewhere or just briefly touched on. And then I might, you know, rip something off and expand on it or something like that. And it's just, I felt like I had something to say. And at the time, I was just like ensorcelled with Souls.
Yeah, no, I can see where you go with that. Is when you're thinking like that, when you're thinking, no one is talking about this, I have to, and you're just so deep into the games as they are, it's just like there's nothing else you can think about. This has to go out. It's a really fun feeling.
And I think it makes, like I've heard people say that with movies or music or whatever it is in terms of, where did you get the idea to make this movie? It's like, I wanted to see this movie and nobody else made it, so I fucking made it.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
or you could say it with games too.
Games, yeah. Absolutely. I wanted a game that was X meets Y, or I wanted a game that played like this, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I thought, yeah, shit on that. I'm going to take a couple of months and knock the thing out, and then I'll get to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin, why did you start?
I started because it was fun. I really, because I started on a focus. Well, after my second video, starting episode 3, or my third video, I just started live commentary, just reaction bullshit. I mean, you've seen the ridiculous fucking early videos of me. Like I didn't really, it was retarded. But
I've seen the Man Eaters video.
We should make a point to link those.
Oh yeah. But no, I just wanted to play games with people. Just I don't know. It just looked fun. I mean, were you guys inspired? I'll finish my point before I segue to you guys. But were you guys inspired by anybody to start making videos? Not people who are part of the same community just because they were there, but specifically like these guys contributed to why I started making videos. Because I know for me, my first 2 videos were like Call of Duty videos, and then I started playing Demon Souls out of the blue. But I was watching Scene Anners and a Moody Swede and Hutch, all people except a Moody Swede I still watch. And it just looked like a fun gig. I mean, I started watching like the Machinima Respawn channel, and now that thing's just dead to hell, that whole channel. But no, I just saw a bunch of cool personalities. It looked like a fun time, and I figured there was some sort of idea of a community that would just make the fun time even more fun. So I thought I'd join in on the fun. is all it was really. I didn't think I had anything
That's a
especially
great point.
from the especially from the live commentary perspective, that focus I've had. I didn't really think I had anything to say, anything meaningful. It was just sort of, and you guys know like how much I value like transparency and stuff. And I just wanted to like put me out there. That's why I use like my real name on Twitter and shit. It's just like, it's me playing games. Like that's all it's ever been. It's like, hey, I don't censor myself. I don't, like add any bit of personality. It's like, yo, let's play some fucking games. Let's have fun. Like I don't like being serious about shit, because like this is my free time. If I can spend my that's why there hasn't been a lot of videos like these, because if I can spend my free time doing more fun shit, I will. And starting it was a way to have more fun than I was having at the time.
Yeah,
that's really all there is to it. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, and like when you go into that sort of thing, it's this balance between finding something new and interesting to do with your time that you think that you maybe could do something with and just, explore for a while. But there's also a huge element of work associated with it. Just extra shit, bullshit that you have to take care of. You have to learn.
I could tell you horrible troubleshooting things that I had no idea how to do in the beginning, because it was back in the days where like Call of Duty 5, I think, was the newest Call of Duty. So that would have made it like 2009 or something. I don't fucking remember. Like it was it was a year after people started doing YouTube as a job, which wasn't that long. It was forever ago. So there was like the capture card I got was just like the most, like, it wasn't made for game capture, It was just, I don't know. There were like, you couldn't go on a Reddit thread and find every solution in the world to troubleshoot anything. Like I was doing so many unnecessary things. It was just fucking ridiculous. But
yeah,
sorry,
like when you're first getting into it and you're like, okay, what does rendering a video mean? Question mark.
I knew that from my time in the music days, but yeah, like all the
settings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Settings or like, what's better, the WMV file,
totally.
or like all that weird shit. Or like recording in certain like bit rate. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, what's a bit rate?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I loved and hated getting into that because I love learning new skills.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I also really just wanted to put what I was doing out there on the internet. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I had a function in my console that could just record, like, a boss fight that I did so I could put it up on YouTube really easily. Oh shit, they do that now.
Yep.
And now, like barely now, yeah.
Well, they can record like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
is the clip thing. And it's a good quality clip and you can put it straight on YouTube. And that is so cool and really accessible. But I'm glad that I went through the bullshit.
On it.
Yeah, and you can stream on it.
Directly, yeah.
Because this is going to sound really arrogant, but when I started putting my stuff on YouTube, I was just doing boss kills.
Mm-hmm.
And I started because I thought I was good.
Sure, yeah.
I was like, I'm going to show people. Fuck it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I was good at a few things, but
you started was DMC your first thing? Or
that was my first
after?
Commentary, but that was
Okay.
that was way after.
The Painting Guardian run was your first series,
that was
right?
the first run.
Nice.
And that was done on like an Ava Media that was a game capture thing, but it was a USB and it connected to an external hard drive, and the on-screen display was all laggy and shit, and it recorded terrible quality videos at like 1080i, and they looked horrible. They were awful.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I super got into it because I thought I was hot shit, and then I got more into the content creating type of mindset with commentaries, because I got super inspired, like you asked before. I got super inspired by people like Sarah from 17.
Yep.
Who does really nice walkthroughs on YouTube if anyone is curious about what he does. And he puts out so much content a day that I actually had to unsubscribe from him because otherwise my feed is clogged. More clogged than it usually is. And he has this amazing charm about him that just makes me want to watch him for hours and hours and hours. And in fact, I would. While I was recording my own videos, I would put this man on doing his own bullshit that he did in a tiny hot room, speaking into a blue snowball microphone.
Yeah.
Just for hours on end, I would watch walkthroughs for games that I'd never even played, like that fucking. It was like a PC really old game that came back as a first person shooter in recent generations. Whatever. But it was really good just to sit there, and that totally inspired me just to be like, okay, I want to play Devil May Cry, and I think I'm really good at Devil May Cry, so I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to put commentary over it, and it was terrible, but I'm glad I did it.
Yep.
So did anyone, like, inspire you, Polly?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So when Justin brought that up, I thought that was a really good, like for once, good question.
Wow.
Fight me.
And so, I think it was like even not so much in terms of YouTube channels, because I was watching a bunch of stuff. I was super into Martyrs Brigade at the time, so I never hesitate to call him out. But even before that,
well, before we were talking about I think it was like the community shout out stuff. We were talking about Souls guys we've been following
totally
forever, and you went through the Demon Souls people, but yeah.
But I mean, even before that, like I had fucked around with podcasts in the past and like put out a couple of them and never really had them take off or anything like that. But I was really inspired by a lot of the game podcasts that I was listening to, like back when One Up was around, all the shit that they would put out. Guys like Garnett Lee and Jeremy Parrish is still around, who does like Retronauts and stuff like that. But like the game podcasts just sounded like those dudes were having so much fun. Exactly like you said, Justin. They were just having so much fun. It was like, man, I want to talk about this stuff too.
Well, and like at least from my own side, I started out like started YouTube out playing with a guy I've known since first grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was like the sort of couch co-op vibe you have with like your best friend. It was like, yeah, this is fun. Like there's no way it can't be fun, you know? So I totally get that.
Yeah, just like sitting down to record an episode or something and be just like going, all right, I'm going over to a friend's house overnight and we're going to play Super Smash Brothers until 7 in the morning.
Totally.
Yep. We did that, actually.
I did that. That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that played a huge that was a huge contributing factor. It was just like the podcast side of it, just listening to people talk about games. That was it. I sounded like I was going to say something else, but it wasn't. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I think that part, like listening to two people talk, I think is always, I mean, evidence being like this video series we do, but I think we all value like discussion and discourse between people. So like that podcast style, two people in a room going back and forth, I think is something that resonates with all of us.
I will always take the option of listening to a podcast or a different roundtable that other people have put up to just putting on like an episode of a Let's Play that goes up.
Sure.
I don't know. There's some amazing funny
it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm watching the video, I will watch a Let's Play. But if I'm doing something else, anything else, if I'm editing, if I'm going and, allegedly I do that. If I'm playing a game, trying to get a boss fight down on a low level or whatever, then I will 100% of the time always want to take a podcast because that shit is so idle. It can just kind of like brew in your mind and you're not like left with all these funny sounds that people make, when they react to stuff scaring them in games.
Right,
you just hear, whoa, what the bullshit? What the fuck? You just hear nothing but random nonsense for like 10 minutes sometimes. I love podcasts.
I hate reactions. I hate them. Reaction videos.
Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, reaction videos.
Yeah, like reaction like
specific.
let's plays where it's nothing but reactions. Let's plays where it's just somebody playing through the game and not adding anything or talking about anything. They're just saying, "Now I'm running in a field." And it's like, I'm watching the video. I can see you fucking running in the field. You don't need to play-by-play this crap.
Yeah.
Talk about what the field means to you.
But
talk about
natural reactions are okay. I thought you meant like I hate when people react to video games.
You're just stoic the whole time.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no. I don't like the narrative walkthrough in terms of narrating what you're doing.
Unless it's a guide.
Yeah, I don't really watch guides.
Well,
but fair.
Seraphim 17.
I'm with you.
Seraphim 17, I think he still goes on this tangent. I'm not sure. I haven't watched anything in a while, but regularly, every like 7 videos or so, which is fairly common considering how many fucking videos he puts
Daily.
out.
He puts out like 5 a day.
Yeah, he says like, why the fuck are people getting mad at me for going off on a random tangent? Why do you want me to tell you to go forward and press the button?
Exactly.
The footage is there. It's telling you to press the button. I don't need to tell you to press the button. Why do you need me to tell you to press the button if you're on survivor difficulty? This is ridiculous. You're bullshit.
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy. Oh my god, he's so great.
I love a lot of people now. I feel like I could do another one of those community shout out things because
we should soon.
I just have this laundry list of people that I love.
Just new discoveries
that I've discovered, and I'm like, I love all of these people, and a lot of it would be Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to do that again because some people
we should
love.
all make top 10s. How about that?
Oh, my top 10 current Twitch streamers of 2015.
Yeah.
We can do. No. You know what? Here's how we'll be original about it. Let's do top 17s.
My top 17 Soulsborne streamers.
Top 11s.
Oh my god, top 11s.
Cool.
That's great.
So so let's give a shout out to just anybody out there then who happens upon this thing. If you feel like whether it's vanity, whether it's confidence, whether you think you are hot shit in the way that you are playing these games, when Dark Souls 3 or some other game that you're interested, like just fucking do it. Just go do it. And
Please
then let us know what motivated you to do it, because we should keep a little tally. Like, oh, another one for vanity. Oh, another one for vanity. Another one for social approval.
Like seriously, if anyone wants to do this and like can like provide interesting, funny content or whatever, just do it. We're gonna be happy to have you here, like, and not jealous little bitches, because people are dropping like flies, man. We're losing so many people. We're getting a couple of people back, but so many people in this drought have just kind of faded away and they're not doing anything anymore, and it's super depressing. So if there's any time for a new generation, for people who think that, you know, it's quote unquote too late, don't think that. Do it now. Do it in a few months.
Do it.
Get prepared now. You know, don't order your capture card a week before Dark Souls 3 comes out, all right? You're gonna have some troubleshooting to do before that.
There might be some day one foibles.
Yeah.
Or just play on PC. Use OBS, something quick.
Man, that's awesome. I would love to see more stuff come out. More stuff from people who have something to actually communicate. You know what I don't want to see are more goddamn
top 10s.
Look at this funny ragdoll physics moment. This that has not been funny for years. Like, we don't need more look at it wiggle videos. Like, quit it. Jesus
Why is this happening? Game physics is weird.
Oh
my god. That is, I think, the just like grinds my gears more than anything else these days, are seeing new channels with like wiggling ragdolls and some like Scooby-Doo running music in terms of like, see how funny that is, and like as it wiggles, and then the comments can basically be summarized as yuck yuck.
Oh, and smiley face.
Yep.
And nice video, smiley face.
Sorry, that was weighing heavily on me. I hate that shit.
You feel lighter?
That's great.
No, now I just feel bitter.
Oh wow. Okay.
Didn't even vent, just reinforced.
No, it somehow turned it up higher. Oh my god! Now the rest of the podcast is going to be even more punchy.
So, okay, so we already talked about sort of the state we're in right now with like Paul, you're being spontaneous. If you think of anything to talk about, you're gonna do it. But like that whole little discussion we had, what's gonna happen when Dark Souls 3 comes out in relation to our channels? Because I don't think that this just popped in my head. I don't think I'm ever coming back in the way that I was before. Because I don't think I care about PvE as much as I did before, ever. So I'm thinking I'll probably do like a co-op playthrough or something. And then maybe like, here's me trying PvP for an hour before I go play something else. Are you guys going hard on the formula that have got your channels to as far as they have? Or like, because I mean, there's only so much you can do with Souls games. Because to be a Souls game, there's a strict set of rules you have to follow. And we saw what happened with half of the fucking community when Dark Souls 2 came out, and they strayed from some of those rules. So we know that there is some sort of limitations you have to do in these games, and there's only so much you can talk about. There's only so long you can play them. I mean, you know, people are different, whatever, but I'm probably going to put like maybe 200 hours into Dark Souls 3. Realistically, I think I put like 400 hours in Dark Souls 2.
That's your prediction? 200?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, like 4,000 in Dark Souls 1 and 2,000 in Demon Souls. But like I have 209 games on PC. I got to play some of this shit, and a lot of this shit is really good, and a lot of this shit I think is way better than Souls games. And now that cuz here's the thing. And not to like go on a rant and not let you guys speak, but
Sure.
it's kind of what I do.
Easy now. You
got your little bitchy moment in the beginning here.
All
My
right.
turn.
All right, fair.
When I stopped playing, I think I talked about this before. When I stopped playing Dark Souls, when I kind of got burnt out, whatever, I'm like, oh, look at all these fucking amazing games I get to play now that I'm, not playing one game anymore. And I'm having so much more fun to the point where I'm not making like videos at all really anymore, because I'm enjoying like playing games. Like I was playing Lightning Returns yesterday, which I already talked about my side on the Final Fantasy 13 saga bullshit. I love it, but even though it's bad, I love it. But I'm looking at it and I go, okay, I'm really liking this game despite its faults. Would I ever want to stream it? Would I ever want to record it? Because I kind of do that. You kind of gauge, when you play something, when you have any experience, it has to go through that filter now that you're a content creator. And I'm thinking, well, it has cutscenes, and I want to listen. I want to be immersed, and so no, I'm gonna play this game in solitude, and YouTube or whatever can suck it. Like I want to have fun. Like I'm sort of on the side of my subscribers now, where I'm also. I'm a consumer of all the content that's coming out, and I'm enjoying being on that side for a little bit, and when I feel motivated to make a video, and you two are a lot of help in me wanting to make videos, mainly because these are my favorite type of videos we do is these types of things, but it's really like setting me back on the playing games for me and playing games for the internet side of things. I'm way more in the camp for playing games for me now than I ever was before. So how are you guys going into Dark Souls 3? And maybe you can talk about like the impact of making content for the internet instead of playing games for yourself, how that sort of influenced maybe your enjoyment or what have you. Whichever one. Polly, here, go.
Wow, that was another great question. Holy hell.
I'm only one beer deep, too.
Damn. You got like that Balmer curve thing going. It's like you're at the absolute crux of creativity and looseness and feeling good. So it's like shit is just flowing. Well done.
Yeah, it's really
Thanks,
nice.
Man. Well
It's not pointed
done.
out.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, not that, either of you guys anathematized me for getting wasted last one.
No,
that
no.
will never air, but
I that was an amazing question. I was sitting there listening to that thinking like, what a great fucking question. I'm not trying to call it out. I'm saying like, wow, let's talk.
I just sense sarcasm
No.
where sarcasm doesn't lie.
That is just the tone of my voice or insecurity. No, it's I'm sitting there thinking like, oh my God, let's talk the shit out of that.
Well, go ahead. What popped in your brain as I was speaking?
Yeah,
let's hear it.
So what was the question? No, I'm kidding. That's I feel like that playing for me versus playing for what I'm going to put on YouTube is just like that is constantly just hanging over your head. That is a guillotine blade just sitting there because I mean that is a big part of it. Anytime I sit down to play a game, it's kind of thinking, you know, should I be recording this? Should I capture this? Is this something that I want to share? And most of the time it's not. So in terms of approaching Dark Souls 3, I think I'm going to play only PvE at first. I think I'm going to play offline for like the first week or something like that and just like go into leave me the fuck alone. Let me play through this game and just kind of check it out for myself. And then maybe pop up a week later, 2 weeks later, however long it call and just talk about what I've noticed.
That's a lot of people too. I mean, you're definitely not alone there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's not, you know, I can absolutely see the value in immediately, you know, everybody's going to be trying to figure it out as soon as possible. So on day one, you're going to have like how to farm the most of this dumb shit little item on day one. Or, you know, I found this weapon.
Glitch.
Yeah, I found this weapon 3 steps from the starting location. Here's the moveset and all that kind of stuff. And there's value in a lot of that stuff for a lot of people. I'm not that type of player, and I'm not going to go out and make strategy videos. I'm not a strategic player or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to like play it on my own and then just pop up with something that is sort of like, you know, this is weird and how it's different from Dark Souls 2, but not a little different from Dark Souls 2. And I'm just, I don't know. We'll see what comes up.
So are you going to start out with PvE stuff, or are you strictly, because all of your stuff except for the elusive Purist Guide has been PvP. So are you going like, are you going to play through PvE and just slam your channel with PvP stuff as new experiences come along?
Probably. I think I'm going to start. I am definitely going to start out playing the game PvE because I'm still trying to keep PvP at arm's length. Like just in playing Dark Souls 2, I am not enjoying the PvP. Because of the people that are out there PvPing. I'm sorry. Sorry. I mean, that is the reality, and I think a whole lot of it is not interesting, and so I think I'm gonna PvE the shit out of it and try and get really into this game, try and get a lot of love for this game, and try to recreate the way I went about it in Demon Souls, which I played PvE forever, and then finally started popping up in 4.1 in terms of like, well, okay guys, you got room for one more? Okay. And
dude, I was the same way. I legitimately like not, well, there's no way you can't do it in Demon Souls anyway because there's no cheat-ins or anything, but I got to like new game +9.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, it's a much shorter game. It takes less time than Dark Souls if you know what you're doing, but like it was like a soul level 500 character. I just kept leveling up.
Sure.
Just kept doing like upgrade weapons. Still don't got that pure blade stone yet.
Totally.
But keep playing.
Why the hell not? Yeah. Yeah, and so I think that's going to be at least now looking at it from still several months away. That's going to be my mindset. I just want to play the goddamn game, and I'm probably going to check out a lot of the videos that are being posted from day one, and like give them a 90-second buffer or something like that. So I was like, oh no, there's spoilers in there. Let's stay away from that. But yeah, I just want to play the game, and I want to feel invested and in love with this game, and then share that love through PvP videos or PvE videos or however it manifests itself. I feel like I just need to take some time to fall in love with this game.
Yep.
It's super understandable, and I think I'm going to do basically the same thing. I'm not going to not touch the PvP, but I'm going to put my PvE experience before anything else. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did with Bloodborne and with Dark Souls 2. I'm just going to turn off the internet, not literally, but just not visit YouTube, not visit Twitch, not visit fucking Reddit, not go anywhere. On Twitter, even, I'll stay away from there. Because there's nothing quite like having that first playthrough. And there's something to be said for certain types of games where you can play through them by yourself and you can only really have the most fun with it when you're just playing it by yourself. Like Metal Gear Solid 5, I would imagine, and some other games that are really cutscene heavy, where you just want to sit there and you want to let them tell a story and let it spill over you, and you don't want to comment on it and focus on, waiting for the next thing to render so that you can, start the next one, and you just don't want to do that.
Yeah, the idea... sorry.
But Dark Souls has sort of been really friendly to people in that way that it doesn't put a narrative spell over you, really.
I was just thinking that.
Atmosphere is really just that. It sits in the background and it lets you tap into it at any point that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I've experienced in playing Dark Souls 2 and playing Bloodborne while recording is that it kind of just enhanced the experience, because sometimes I sit there and I play Souls games by myself in the quiet and I think, this is just getting a little bit boring.
Mm-hmm.
The world is quiet and it's a bit lonely and it's making me feel a bit weird. And, you do get immersed, but I find it much more interesting to actually record while you're doing something so that you can have fun with the mechanics of the game and feel like someone is maybe sitting there along with you.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to doing that, because we only get one of those experiences maybe once every year or two. And I can't wait to do that. And then a couple weeks after all of that's been said and done and recorded and uploaded and whatever, I can just sit around and do PvP and, maybe make some videos like you.
Yeah, you claim it. I was just gonna violently agree with like that first playthrough. It's sort of like I'm gonna be a greedy little bitch, and I'm just gonna say like, I'm sorry, this one's mine. This is for me. We got all the time in the world to talk about this stuff down the way. We can figure it out. We can explore it. But like this little slice, this little start from A to Z, however it plays out, this one's mine. Please leave it to me.
Yeah, because God knows there's plenty of this area that we are currently all sitting in.
Yeah.
Later on.
Absolutely.
Because, 14 months or whatever after Dark Souls 3's been out, we're going to be feeling the same burn, except we're not going to be looking for another sequel, because there's not going to be one. And people are going to have to deal with that, and it's going to be weird.
It's funny hearing you guys talk about this, because your mentality sort of going into that first playthrough is like no spoilers, sort of savoring the moment. And I'm going to be that guy looking for the cheat engine table as soon as I can.
Sure.
Because I love testing stuff out. That's my favorite thing about Souls games, is all the weapon movesets, all the, every little decision you sort of make in your loadout, in your armor, in your, now we have weapon arts and stuff. We'll see how those play out and stuff. Because you guys know in Dark Souls 2, I had the mule like the second week. I had everything like
we both did.
Oh yeah, that's right. And no, I didn't even play the game for like a whole week. I'm like, no, I don't feel like you beat the game before you got the mule. I didn't. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna play it until I have the mule. Like, I don't wanna.
It was like wow.
Yeah, like I love that's my favorite part about Souls games, is the customization and the movesets and sort of that dialing in your playstyle kind of thing. And what you said earlier, sort of a non sequitur here, but what you said earlier about the narrative sort of not being there and it's more atmosphere and in the background, I think that's why, at least for me, why it's so easy for me to make Souls content as opposed to other stuff. Because as I mentioned, I was playing Lightning Returns and there were cutscenes and stuff where I wanted to be immersed and really like listen to all the dialogue and all the emotion and stuff and the voices. And, you know, there's very little voice acting in Souls games and stuff. But that's something that is very gameplay focused, but where it substitutes or where it sort of neglects direct narrative, it replaces it with just great atmosphere, which is something that translates to recording very well without interrupting sort of the commentary, but that sort of shutting up whenever a cutscene comes on, and then, you know, okay, I guess we're gonna play now. Like, I don't really have time to reflect on what that cutscene felt like or anything like that. You know, it's just like, oh, I'm back in commentary mode. That really bothers me. And I think that's what made me make Souls content for so long. And I don't know where I was going with this.
That's right. It's because it's like a little playground, kind of.
Yeah.
In the
No, it totally is.
The game just has this toolbox for you to access, and especially with equipment and stuff, it's not all coded and bullshit like Devil May Cry, where you're not supposed to have this yet. You know, you can wear any armor at any point, and you can use any weapons at any point, and there's no cutscenes as such except for like the beginning of boss things, but then they only last like 30 seconds, so it's super friendly to people who want to create content either on YouTube or Twitch, because you can just do anything at any time. You can start talking as long as there's not a cutscene, and there's not many of those. But I get what you mean with stories that have games that have cutscenes, and then right after it's done, you're not even really allowed to process it. You kind of just have to move on with what you were doing and provide something for people to watch. Because I've had moments with watching like playing Metal Gear Solid, watching Metal Gear Solid.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing, really. I finished a mission that I took like 3 hours for me to do, and there's like a 25-minute cutscene, and then after all that, I'm like, I'm gonna get up and go get a drink now, because I just want to process that.
Okay, so let me ask you this: going into Dark Souls 3 with what we were just talking about, like maybe the approach is a little bit different. The first playthrough is very, very precious. When it does come time to put out a video, are you a little bit worried about it in terms of, you know, either showing up late or showing up with something that maybe somebody else has talked about a week in advance, and you'll be late to the party or something like that? I don't know. I mean, is there any kind of hesitation in terms? Are you worried about the way people are going to receive it?
Yeah, I have a good example for this, and it's funny, just for full transparency here. In our little pre-show conversation before we started, someone mentioned the Tranquil Walk of Anime series, to which I will inform you guys that I've deleted every episode because I hate it so much.
Wow.
So apologies to both of you for participating in several. But no, I just really, I didn't like any of them after I posted, but I felt maybe there was some sort of value in them as a listener / viewer.
They were decently well received.
Yeah, no, they totally were. But well, for the first like 10 episodes, I think, like the audio, it sounded like I was talking through a potato, which is in and of itself shitty. But I never had any notes in front of me, which I never wanted, to be honest, but I found them really, really just ultimately pointless. Never got across really what I wanted to.
Okay.
But that, to a lesser degree, that feeling lingers through every video, and that's what's sort of driven me lately to just not post it. Because you guys know that I used to just, like, everything I played, I used to post. Just, like, doesn't matter what game, doesn't matter what I said. Like, I was just like, here you go. Like, I played some games. Like, watch it if you want to. But I don't know. That filter has become much more finely tuned as of late. And I think, not to steer the conversation in a certain direction, but just to provide my point of view, I think it relates to the way that the content I like to watch or listen to isn't the content I like to make. So there's this disconnect between whether or not I enjoy something and whether or not I think viewers will.
Interesting.
Because I like, I mean, to harp on what we were talking about before, I love podcasts. I love critique and like anything Total Biscuit puts out. In depth kind of stuff. A shout out to Reploid Zero, who's been fucking MIA forever. That he's like one of my favorite people on the internet. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, and you showed me him. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we used to talk about Metal Gear Solid and shit all the time. Stuff. No idea where he is now. Here's your chance to speak up, Rep. Here you go. Comment right now. Let me know. But yeah, I don't know what it is, and I think that's a contributing factor to at least my own view of the sort of insecurity in posting and stuff, as well as being. I mean, your harshest critic is always yourself, or at least it should be. So, for me, that's where I stand. Anyway, what about you, Ken?
I kind of agree with you on like the front of I don't necessarily make content that I would watch myself. Polly, you mentioned earlier that that guy that just made the movie because he wanted to fucking make it, because he wanted to see it and nobody was making it.
Yeah.
Well, when I look at my content that I've made, so often I think there was only one run of this, like especially if it was a live thing, there was only one run of this. This is the end product. I don't really like it all that much. But it's going out there anyway, because if it didn't, that'd be really weird. And I am a terrible critic for myself. I am permanently paralyzed by inaction. You know, you think about with like New Year's resolutions and shit, it's the same thing. You think, well, New Year's coming around, I have a chance to, you know, finally do this thing that I could have done at any time, but I'm going to set this imaginary milestone.
Totally.
And I'm going to accomplish it then, because then it will mean something, you know, question mark. And I don't like my own stuff. So I totally get paralyzed by, I don't know what to say. I don't know why would I want to listen to this? I don't believe in what I'm saying. So why would anyone else want to listen to it?
Wow.
And yet you have these wonderful people in your comment sections that no matter how small you are, no matter how big you are, they will say, I will watch anything that you put out. Because I love you that much. And there's something in your head that just goes, why? But why? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. It's like, that is so wonderful, and thank you, but you're an idiot.
I don't fucking understand.
Here are all the reasons why you're wrong.
You're wrong, yeah.
As a person that likes me.
Yeah. And shout out to Connor, or Turles the Brutal, who has told me I'm his favorite YouTuber before, and I'm like, you're fucking dumb, dude.
No.
Like,
no.
I'm like, no, like, I suck, and I'm fully aware of that, and that's okay, because I don't try and pursue this thing as a career, but, like, holy shit. Yeah. That kind of stuff is just, I don't understand.
Yeah, someone says, I watch everything you put out, and I'm so glad when you put out a new thing, and you just can only reply with, like, a quizzical up nod. Like, I don't get it, but thank you. Cool. And I think that feeling of being so pleasantly surprised by people that are, you know, dumb in your mind. You know, I mean this in the nicest possible way for anyone watching this. I think you're fantastic people, and
fantastically dumb.
They are the people that keep you doing stuff in the end. Like they're the people that keep you thinking that you should do something more. When you get to that point where you're like, I'm not going to make anything else. I'm not really feeling it. Would people really care if I said this thing? Whatever. But then you get a comment, you get a notification that says, where are you? And you're like, oh, I kind of set myself up. I wanted to do this at some point. I think I'll get back to it. So.
By you, Polly.
Yeah.
Do you hate yourself as much as we hate ourselves?
I'm the greatest human being on the face of the earth. No, I do commiserate. I do relate to that a lot in terms of so my thing is I have a lot of insecurity whenever I post a video. And I have to go through this process where I will usually upload something always as private or unlisted. And then I will watch it, and then I'll come back the next day and watch it, and come back the next day after that and watch it, and it's kind of like, oh my God, dude, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. I think this is the one where everybody just like, everybody says like, oh my God, this guy is so completely and utterly full of shit. I'm done. And like the entire subscriber base just leaves. And I have this internal meter where I will just keep watching these things and saying like, I don't know, dude, this one really sucks. This one really sucks. I'm not going to put it out. I'm not going to put it out. And I just get so pissed off at myself for worrying about it so much that I eventually just like, fuck it, it's going public. And then I'll flip the switch and then it's too late. It's like the trigger is pulled and it's out there. And I think the biggest thing is I worry, like being a commentary channel, I worry that I am just one of these days going to say something so fucking stupid and so wrong and so absolutely asinine that everybody just has this aha moment in terms of like, this guy has nothing further. This guy has absolutely nothing further to, and I'm gonna never listen to this again. This is just gonna be terrible. Every now and again, I'll make a video that I'm pretty proud of, and then I'll put it out there like a couple hours later instead of a couple days later, or a week later, or something like that. But yeah, it's always like I really struggle to pull the trigger on releasing a new video, just because I don't know how it's gonna. There's fear there. It's insecurity. I have no problem calling it insecurity. It's like, okay, this is the one where everybody discovers that I really got nothing, and it's all been smoke and mirrors up to this point.
So, what are, I guess, Kenton and myself, whatever how you word that, our plans for it?
I want to do the same thing that you did to Polly earlier, actually.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, I want to know what you
Grill
think.
me.
What are you doing?
Okay.
What is this?
Nice. Mirror shield.
Okay, so I started doing it as I already talked about my viewership with Machinima Respawn and stuff, and that's obviously a network, and I knew you could monetize and stuff. So I'm like, wouldn't that be fucking cool? So that was, I wouldn't say it was a goal, but it's like, oh, there's probably other stuff like this that could be something. Let's give it a shot. So I always knew in the back of my head that would be a really cool thing to happen. And then started working at it, and whatever, doing my thing, and then I got partnered, and then blah blah blah. I thought things were going great. And then I didn't hit a brick wall in terms of viewership or growth or anything, but my job got a lot more intensive and more involved for me. Like I'm in, not to tell my life story or anything here, but I'm in a special program that's meant to fast track people to promotions. They only put people in the program that they're interested in promoting. And then I'm going to be part of like an employee council for all the people in my department.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's meant to like work out issues that we're having out there in the trade and blah, blah, blah. So I'm kind of an important guy now. So those regular 60 hours a week that I put in anyway just got more work within that 60 hours a week. So I already had like they already presented me with like, oh, here's 14 hours worth of work, get it done in 12. Now it's like, oh, okay, here's 15, 16 hours worth of work, get it done in 12. So given the fact that this pays my bills, it's kind of like, well, I'm still having fun, doing the YouTube thing whenever I can, but this obviously is a much bigger deal for that, especially, I mean, my company's amazing. I have a 401k, good shit, and my next promotion doubles my salary. So
you got a track.
Yeah,
totally. So, like, I don't want to push like this. I hate the phrase "real job." It's the two-word phrase "real job." But YouTube as a career and Twitch and whatever is not stable. it is super not stable. And if you can get something done like that and still manage to get anything YouTube related done on the side, that's amazing. And like honestly, every day not every day, like every week or so, I think about what Justin's doing, and I'm like, he's doing shit, man.
Why isn't it every day?
He's good. Well, because I don't look at Skype every day. And you don't put out YouTube, so I don't see you in the YouTube feed all the time to think about.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I hate that phrase.
Yeah.
Real job. Like it's not work. When you're actually at that point where it is work and it's not, just a hobby that you do on the side. Like what I do, what Polly does, what other people with 1,000, 2,000 subscribers do, it's not sustainable, and it's not anything that you could call an actual job.
I think Twitch is much more much easier to make as a job, but
it's a lot more lucrative.
Much higher there's a much higher barrier to entry.
Like people will argue with you, day in, day out about YouTube and all the people that have millions of subscribers on YouTube and how they make, 7 or 6 digit salaries off them every year just by, playing games on YouTube. But you make more off Twitch, I reckon, in the long run, just purely out of donations and subscriptions and stuff. And like added to the fact that you can't be one of those people anymore on YouTube. You can't suddenly rise to be a PewDiePie over 5 years anymore. You just can't do it. There's too many people making their way up that same ladder that there's just no room for you. You can't get higher after a certain point. But on Twitch, you can make decent amount of money no matter your follower count. And you can grow to a certain point and make more than some YouTubers do a month.
I was just kind of thinking of it, like I wonder if there's a different thing, like the difference is Twitch would be great because of the subscribe button, because of like direct interaction with people that are willing to support you and things like that. Twitch is much better for a lifestyle business, whereas YouTube is much more like the startup scene or the music scene or something like that, where it's like there's a shit ton of stuff going on, and every now and again, 1 out of 100,000, a million, whatever it is, will hit it big. Like YouTube is winning the lottery, and Twitch is much more like bootstrapping a business, starting a business. It's like the local shop that supports you and your family, that maybe you expand into another franchise or something like that. Whereas like, YouTube is becoming a rock star, becoming a movie star or something like that.
Yeah. And Twitch is kind of the regular office job type thing that you do every day and maintain. And you have to maintain. Oh my God.
Yeah, Twitch is much more dependent on consistency, where YouTube's much more dependent on quality. I mean, not quality like but like the edits go a long way. I mean, we see that with
if you're a partnered channel and you're already super popular and you put out a video, but you know that you can put out one video every 3 weeks because that video will get 30 million views, then you're fine. But Twitch is a lot more dependent on you keeping a certain bond with the people that follow you.
Yeah. Yeah, Twitch is a relationship,
Yeah, it's super a relationship up to a certain point. And then it kind of bridges into this weird show type thing that you might... I mean, I know you recognize Justin from Northern Lion Live Super Show type thing, where he has a person on with him and they entertain a bunch of people and they do kind of interact, but it's a lot more like a YouTube stream, like the classical, startup YouTube streams where they just kind of do the thing that they would do offline anyway, and then occasionally they comment on the people that are talking and giving support in the comment or chat section. Sorry, I'm slurring.
No, you're good.
I had one beer,
That
but it was a
one
big
beer?
beer.
Oh my god.
It's an Australia-sized beer.
It was a. This is a
Australia for
750
beer.
mil, and I drank it,
750, that's it?
and I haven't had anything else
Jesus
today,
Christ. Oh
and
my-
pills. So here we are.
All right. So what's your do you have any sort of goal, or are you just kind of going with the wind on this thing, on the YouTube ride? You doing it for fun now? You have, I don't know. Where do you stand?
Me?
Ken, I mean.
I'm looking at YouTube. Kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I have fun when I do it, and it's really cool to interact with people. Like I'm so looking forward to putting together this particular thing and putting it out there. I might feel differently afterwards after I've heard myself talk.
Oh, come on.
But I'm super looking forward to it, and YouTube is kind of becoming a hobby thing, whereas Twitch is kind of the thing that I'm looking at. I like the atmosphere there. I don't know what it is about YouTube. YouTube just feels kind of a little bit barren in some respects. Like you put something out there and then you know that other people have 50 other things to watch.
Well, and YouTube takes much more of a, like, I mean, take like a
purpose.
take like a 5-hour live stream. You don't need to be the most enthusiastic person and deliver consistent, interesting commentary the entire time.
No, you don't.
It's much more like you're in the room with someone, but on YouTube, it is necessary to be someone like Northern Lion.
Yeah, you go into the video
on and on and on and
either
on. Like,
with a purpose, like something to talk about that's interesting in 10 to 25 minutes or so that people can sit down and listen to consistently. Like Mr. I Won't Forget. He does his weapon showcases and stuff, and he has a point to every video. But when you start a stream, you don't have to have a point.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward more to Twitch, I guess, because I love talking to people. That I'm discovering that I love talking to people. I love having fun with that, and to maybe be able to make that something for myself would be awesome as well. Because I don't share this a lot, but I don't really have a lot of capabilities right now from a medical standpoint of doing real, quote unquote jobs. So, this kind of a thing, I'm looking forward to it. It's looking cool as hell.
no, you have a nice voice too, which is something both of you have that I don't.
No,
You got a good shot at it.
I like listening to you.
don't even lie to me right now. I am an abrasive fucking asshole.
I like talking to you when you're in a good mood. I like listening to you when you're in a good mood. I do not like watching you play Fallout 4. That was fucking horrendous.
Well, no, like here's I don't know what it is about me or how I can do this. I'm not even gonna call it like, oh, I have a special skill to do. I don't even know what it is, but I may just pay attention to it a lot more than other people. But when someone's, say, singing or talking or whatever, I can tell what parts of the tongue and throat they're using and where the position of everything is in their mouth. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, I can do that. And both of you guys talk a lot through your throat and your lower, like your more of the baritone side of things. I use my nose for a lot of my talking, and it is not as soothing to listen to, and I know it and I'm aware, so I make use of it, and I be loud and ridiculous, and I'm hyperbole incarnate. So it's fun. I have fun doing it, but I'm not one of those people who can just be like, yeah, so we're gonna do this. Like I don't. And I don't have the personality. Like,
you know what?
When I'm alone and I'm alone, I am completely that guy. But as soon as I have to talk to people, I'm like, here I go. What talking socialize? This is how socializing works, right? I think this is how. I don't do it very often, but I'm pretty sure this is socializing.
Now you see how I'm balancing this out between us is that you at least. You have like this really cool position in your job at the moment that, you're heading places. Like you said, you've got a job to do, and that's cool. And it's got like places that you can go in it. That's awesome.
Yeah. People, I don't know what it is, but like people like beer. I don't get it.
It's weird.
I don't understand. Like
The great mysteries of the universe.
yeah, I don't understand. I mean, the business is a booming. So
People like beer. You know what?
Yeah,
People I like beer.
it's this recent thing. I don't get like it was never a thing before, right? People didn't like beer.
I noticed in 2011.
Yeah. The uprising of beer.
Just showing some graphs and shit on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
As you can see.
In 2010 the world discovered hops.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
All right, well, I think we can close it out on that note.
That alcohol is just fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm alright with
Any
that.
objections? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I think. Yeah, we can end on that. Just that. That's
So what are you drinking right?
Zivjets.
Fuck that name. I had a Lagunitas brown sugar, 9.6%.
Oh, the brown sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the Sierra Nevada Celebration, which is almost done right now.
So, thank you everybody for watching. It's been another Roundtable podcast full of bullshit and not actually getting to the point anywhere. So, thank you for watching.
What are you
Thank
talking
you for joining me.
This was a spiked bat. It was full of nothing but points.
All right.
Triangles, man.
Okay.
What kind of triangle are you?
Let's get into that in the next one.
Okay.
I think Polly's the equilateral. Okay.
All
I'm
right,
the
say
obtuse
goodbye, Polly.
triangle, and you're the isosceles,
Wow.
Canton.
I'm the isosceles.
All right, cool. Thanks for hosting, and I'll see everybody later.
Say bye-bye, Justin.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Love you. Look, don't leave yet. Okay, bye.
Fucking hate you.